We are particularly very concerned that now we are going towards Christmas and festivities, and we are worried that there is too much of illicit alcohol available for consumption, especially even to the underage. Now that our children are at home for about 2 months, we are getting very concerned because it looks like there is a lot of laxity with our police in terms of making sure that our children do not access drugs and other substances that they are using. Availability of illicit alcohol and drugs in Kenya has become very easy, even to the minors. And we seem to have no intervention technicalities on how we can take care of those children and those young people who have been addicted. Unfortunately, in Kenya, we are getting very concerned because in Kenya, addiction has not yet been acknowledged and identified as a disease. Because if we do not categorize addiction as a disease, then it becomes very difficult for us to look for interventions, medical interventions, and other interventions that may help us. And therefore, those that are addicted out of consumption of alcohol and other substances are stranded because they cannot be able to afford medication. Our NHIF cover does not allow us to use the card to cover matters that relate to addiction. And therefore, as members of parliament, we are going to commit ourselves to make sure that we amend the Health Act and any other law that can allow us to categorize addiction as a disease. We must acknowledge it as a disease, because if we do not do that, then we are not going to provide for medication, affordable medication for our people. We are also concerned that there is so much increased rates of suicide that is coming out of depression caused by addiction. I represent Githunguri constituency, and every week I am getting reports that there is a young man who has committed suicide, either throwing themselves in water dams, in wells. Others are hanging themselves because of addiction. I personally have attended to 2 cases, and to my shock, one of the case, tulitoa bangi kwa mfuko ya huyo kijana ambaye alikuwa amejiweka kwa kamba, and that came out of depression. We are getting very concerned. We cannot be able to empower young people with whatever the government is giving the young people with the current issues of depression, suicides, and addiction-related mental cases. And therefore, we want to request the IG, the Inspector General. You cannot be able to take care of issues of addiction with the regular police. Our police are not properly trained to deal with mental cases. Themselves, they also have issues. We already have a problem with the police force, because even within the police force, we also have addiction cases. So we are saying, when we had issues of domestic violence and gender-based violence, we recommended that we get a special desk to deal with gender-based violence in every police station, and we created gender desks in every police station. And we had some policemen who are trained and women who are trained to deal with gender violence. We now want to get a special desk to deal with mental issues that are related to addiction. To me, I always argue it out this way, and my Wanshimwas can always attest to this. If you arrest somebody who is addicted and you put him in a cell, you are actually preparing him to die, because you have arrested a sick person, and that sick person will not get healed by being in a police cell. The policeman who is putting this addict in the police cell is only doing what he was trained in Kiganjo. So we want our police people to be trained on how to deal with addiction issues and matters that are related to addiction. And on the same note, we would want to request that matters addiction must be dealt with by people who are available and accessible. In every county, we are requesting that we accommodate a rehabilitation center that is properly equipped with the psychosocial and the medics that are needed in such a facility. It is sad that our addicted people are now becoming mad people. They are loitering in our streets and we are calling them mad people, yet they are not mad. They are only addicted and they lose out in their mental faculties. And therefore we are requesting that every county provide for a rehabilitation center that is fully equipped to deal with matters of psychosocial treatment. On the issues of festivities, we don't know why there is a lot of laxity with the police to making sure that the drugs and illicit alcohol is not available or supplied to our children now that they are at home. So we are asking the police, we want to see a more aggressive campaign around making sure that we don't have accessibility and the supply of those substances to, especially to our junior children, our minors, especially now that we have the festivities with us. And I think I want to stop there so that my colleagues can add on something that I have left out.